system of government we actually copied from the United States of America. The country which practiced regional system after independence switched to presidential system in the First Republic. Now, this has continued till date. Now, after different military interventions, Nigeria returned to democratic rule fully in 1999 with the presidential system. 18 years down the line, the Nigerian people now are groaning on, they're complaining, of course, problems of feeding, housing, 109 senators and 360 House of Representative members. It's not easy at all, especially for a country like Nigeria. When you consider the GDP of this country, compare it to that of the United States, and we have 360 members of the House of Representatives, 109 senators, feeding them and paying their salaries is no jokes. And of course, no thanks to the economic recession and the dip in oil prices in recent times, it's becoming unsustainable to keep that system in place. Now, former governor of Nigeria's central bank, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, once said the country is spending 25% of its budget on the National Assembly. The influence and affluence, the affluent life, of course, exhibited by the lawmakers has also helped to increase the agitation by many Nigerians that one of the two arms, of course, of the National Assembly should be scrapped. Many have argued that since the Senate and the House of Representatives do virtually the same thing, it is better to streamline their work now and give it to either the Senate or the House of Representatives. Proponents of these are drawing close examples from Senegal. Of course, it happened in Senegal, which, of course, not quite long ago scrapped one of the houses of parliament because of too much expenses in running two legislative arms. And of course, that country is doing well today. There are also arguments that being a lawmaker should be made a part-time job and stipends should be given to lawmakers instead of the bogus salaries and allowances they collect in Nigeria. Now, Nigeria, politics, of course. In Nigeria, as we know, politics is a full-time job where people leave everything they do and invest heavily to get political office. Well, it's a debate that is out there. The question is, does Nigeria, in truth, actually need two houses of parliament? Let me start with you, Libros. Do you think, even when things were better in Nigeria, do you think, when the economy was at least doing well, do you think we actually need two houses of parliament?
To answer your question directly, no, we don't. We need a national assembly, to check the excesses of the executive, to make laws, but we don't need two chambers. One will do. Because the essence of having two chambers, really, it's one would expect that when you have two legislative chambers, bills pass from one, and then oversights of some of these the issues, will be checkmated by the upper chambers. But we have, apart from fight for supremacy, we've discovered here that it is more about self-interest than the process of lawmaking or the national interest. And then also coupled with the fact that we're going through a lot of financial crisis right now, thanks to the excesses of our political class. And so they cannot continue to enjoy, the largesse and the benefits of political office while you ask the people to tighten their belt and brace up for harder time. And so also you find out that in most cases, like you said in your introduction, bills can be introduced, in either of the chambers. And so if
you can have executive bills.
Yes, if it is introduced from the Senate, once it is passed at the Senate, it passes through the same process at the House of Rep. And so why? And then you find out that it takes a longer time to pass a bill. And so that's why you have
like
some bills.
We're having in this petroleum industry.
So that's why you have some of them are multiplied.
We have that of the Senate, the House is still
exactly, and so in some cases you have various versions of one particular bill, and so we can avoid all of these problems by having just one legislative chambers like the House of Rep. That'll be all encompassing. That'll be more in number.
Probably increase the number from 360 to
no. Just
360
leave it the way. Even the 360 is too much. You know, you have 360 at the House of Rep, 109 in the Senate. That's a total of 469. And then, you know, 469 people, you know, feeding on 25% of the budget.
And let's talk about, let me just pause you there and come to Olayinka. You look at how much, I mean, even though the senators, I mean, the lawmakers are actually not disclosing what they earn at, but at least we have a fair idea that in this country today, as we speak, roughly speaking, a senator earns around, let's say, between 38 to 39 million. And a member of the House of Reps earns around 20, between 23, 24 million. You look at that, you multiply that now by 360 in the House of Representatives, 109 in the Senate, and then you also look at their legislative aides as well and what they earn. You take a look at the National Assembly budget for 2017 alone, 125 billion. You think this is something that we can continue to sustain for the long haul when you consider the fact that, well, our resources are depleting, whether you like it or not, population growing geometrically. Is this sustainable?
The first question I will ask is democracy working in Nigeria? Is it our thing? Nigerian is like a student in a class that is copying the work of the other and verbatim. And he copies so much that even the name of his colleague is writing the name of his colleague on his own answer sheet. That is the way we behave. We are copying democracy that is so expensive for us. You just said it. 2 houses doing virtually the same thing, and we are spending so much money. The Senegalese realized $15 million from scrapping the one of the National Assembly. That money, what was used for helping the people when they had the flood issues in their country, that $15 million got into that. It was able to fix the problem at that time.
And year in, year out, I mean, what you allocate to these lawmakers go up.
Now, thank you. And we have said it. You people, if you claim you are serving us, reduce the money, reduce your allowances, reduce all these bills. And they said no. Rather, they will put it up because to them, they said they are working for us. So because they are working for us, they need to go on with something tangible. This is someone
but let me
that is serving me.
But let me ask you, if you take away one of the houses, let's say you take away the Senate, for instance, wouldn't you have the problem of a lack of proper representation now of the people of this country? Because, you know, the members of the House of Reps represent a constituency. The senators represent a senatorial district. Don't you think you might have that gap?
We have 3 in a state, then 1 in FCT that made the 109 senators. And we have constituency. That means in virtually almost all the states, we have more than 3.
Because some of these constituencies actually fall under senatorial.
I'm very sure and certain that we are duly represented well by the National Assembly. By the House of Representatives, we have over 360. It's enough. As far as I'm concerned, even over too much. 360 compared to 109. We don't need, I think 1 is okay. If I will go by Mr. 1 is fantastically okay.
DG, we operate a unitary federal system. We call it federal system, but it's unitary. Everybody reports to Abuja. So Nigeria is like one big local government where the president is the local government chairman. And then you have everybody finding a way to pigeonhole himself. And like Professor Pius Adesomi described it, that is why you have everybody waiting to be in government. You have those in government, you have those waiting to be in government. And so, from the local government level, you have councillors representing council areas.
That is quite true.
Inside that council areas, you have larger areas constituency represented by a member of House of Assembly.
House of Assembly, yes, you're right.
And so, inside
House of Assembly of a state.
Yes, and so inside that same area, you have a larger area represented by a member of the House of Rep. Still covering these areas that the House of Assembly member is covering, that the councillor is covering. And then inside you now have a zone where you have a senator from. That's 4. Representative in the same area, and all of them drawing salaries.
When you have that huge number of representatives, you would expect that the lives of the people who have been represented.
Not to talk of ministers from some of these areas, and then they now begin to say, no, you have produced commissioner. And so you can't have minister. And no, you have produced the chairman, so you can't have commissioner. This area has produced special advisor to the governor. You can't have a special advisor to the president. And so all of these are portfolios that nobody is even talking about. Special advisors, senior special assistants, special assistant to special advisors, chairman, task forces, commissioners, local government chairmen, supervisory councillors, ministers. So all of these are political portfolios that our taxes are used to finance. And so it is high time we sit down and ask ourselves, with what is happening, we need to cut costs. Companies are cutting costs. If Nigeria were to be a company, I am sure the managing directors and the board of directors, who are senators and co, will sit down and say, how do we cut costs? Like you have, organizations, reducing staff strength. And so we need to reduce the overhead as staff strength. It is easy also for some persons to say, recently our Speaker, House of Rep, bamboozled everybody by showing his pay slip, 270-something thousand. And if you believe that, you will believe anything. If it is 270-something thousand, nobody will kill to get there.
You look at the budget. I mean, the same process during the budget defense and the budget consideration, all of that. What the Senate did is basically what was done in the House of Representatives. So it's more like a duplication of process, if you ask me.
That's the reason why I personally, in my own view, I would say there is no need for the two. One is just okay. Even the one need to be checked so that we can still cut cost, even with one. Everybody must present their constituency allowance. Yes, we know it's not as if cash is given to them as per constituency allowance. Now you put, but it goes into the budget. Then they ask you, what do you say you want to do for your constituency? Everybody comes to say, yes, I have constituency. Now I need some things to be done in my constituency. Money goes into that too. So all these things are just too expensive for us. And the best way is one is out. Then 2, let's see how we can cut cost. Why can't the government go to the root? That's to the local government, visit the local government, and to the councillor, let them do the needful. Let them visit their people. Let them do what they're supposed to do for their people in their own. We have the CDC, we have the CDAs. These are the purposes of all these things. Let them do the work rather than somebody talking about constituency projects.
We've had people who say when we get to the National Assembly, we will open up our salaries and allowances. But they got there, they became lone voices, and they'll be overwhelmed. So they'll keep quiet. But if you have more of those kind of persons, then it will be easy for them to say, look, let's scrap one chamber. Because it was done in Senegal. People sat down and said, the same people said, look, let's kill one house. Not because of us, but for the interest of the larger society. Because they were able to get the election right. You need to get the election right first. Otherwise, if you have this kind of bloodsuckers who believe that the house will soon collapse, let us grab what we can grab, forgetting that if you grab, there will be no place for you to even keep that which you have grabbed if the house collapses.
You think that can happen?
Well, 2 things.
Because I'm just wondering, you need these senators to actually approve it.
2 things.
You need these
my
lawmakers.
View, 2 things. 1, military coup. 2, revolution.
No.
Now, I will say this. For military coup, I will say is no longer welcome. That is out. It's totally out of it. Because it's no longer popular. Nobody's going to support it. We don't want it. It's out of the way. We only have one left, which is revolution. What are we talking about? The revolution we are talking about is not carrying gun, carrying matches. No. It's the revolution of the people.
Blockade the National Assembly and force them.
The truth is, we as Nigerians,
can be done, actually.
We as Nigerians are not ready to
be
take
vigilant.
back our country until the day we, as Nigerians, we become patriots and we decided and we wake up to say, today we are taking back our country, we will do this. Listen, section 14, subsection 2A, paragraph A of the Constitution says what? Sovereignty belongs to the people. Who are the people? It's talking about us. Meanwhile, they are recalling a senator and a deputy, whatever senator, somewhere he opened his mouth to say that
a lawyer
it cannot,
citing the Constitution as well.
it cannot pass through, it can't go through without passing through us.
Of course, and he cited the Constitution anyway.
This is the Senate we are talking about. These are the people we are saying they should check to say, okay, let's have one chamber. These are the people that are begging, please, begging his own mate, his own colleague, senator colleague, to say, please, help me. Don't let them recall me. These are the people that we are talking about. So it takes the revolution of people. We need to stand up because the provision of the Constitution is there. Section 9 made it clear. You see, well, like I said, practically, it looks impossible. With the said, the crops of people we have, it looks impossible. Constitutionally, it's possible. And it's only possible when we, as people, are ready to take that place.
Constitutionally, it should be possible if only people were willing to
are willing,
be
but
selfless.
we still sit back and we are not ready to take over the country.
Which is why we do some of the things that we do. You know, media intervention, trying to enlighten the mind, you know, by coming on TV or programs like this. A lot of Nigerians, you know, sit down, and this is what gives them hope that it is possible. And so they believe that people who are vigilant, who are ready and looking for solutions, how do we do it? How do we mobilize? And so there are some who are still waiting, believing that it is not possible. But with programs like this, they believe and they hear, they say, okay, look, it can be done, because yes, they begin to see reasons. Let me give you an analogy. Sorry, quickly. It's like you have this is on a cliff, and the people are standing here, and it is the people, it's the strength of the people that is holding this, you know, plank on the cliff. The moment the people, and then you have the leader standing here, the moment the people lives here, he falls over. And so the day we realize that we are the strength on which these leaders are standing on, it is no longer about whether they will do it. It is whether we will do it. How we will do it. I told you, in 2015, some people never believed that APC would become a political party. But the people made it. It got to a point, people said, look, even if it's tissue paper that Buhari presented, we will vote for him. And elections were held. Some people believed that they were going to manipulate the elections. But people were vigilant. And yes, in spite of all the shortfalls.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see, because if you ask me, there are problems with that. You can't be sure who you're voting for. That person will go there and say, okay, you know what?
No, Deji.
Kill this house.
No, Deji. Do you know what happened? We were all fixated on the presidential candidate. We left on, yeah.
Always
and
the case.
so now, people now realized with what had happened that, oh, we made a mistake. We should all have been fixated on all the offices, not just the presidential candidate. And so, people are waiting. Even though you cannot recall, but we are waiting for the next election. And so we keep trying to ensure that, look, now you have shown us the kind of people you are. So next election, if we insist, if we are vigilant and we insist that our elections must be transparent, we will compel political parties to engage in internal democracy, because when they present candidates that are not sellable, look at what happened in Osun. The party ordinarily, APC ordinarily, they were arrogant as PDP with the feeling, look, it's APC, is it not APC, the party in power? So any candidate will present will fly anyway. But the people said no, that at the end of the day, it was 9-1. You know, so that's the power of the people. And so it's a lesson for the political class, whether they learn it or not.
We have to close the program here. But the fact is that something drastic needs to be done. How it's going to be done is what I don't know. In my own opinion, I think we don't need more than one House of Parliament. I mean, having the Senate and the House of Representatives we can actually do with the House of Reps.
Deji, maybe before you go, I think we need to say
But
this.
very
The
quickly,
electorate.
very quickly.
The electorate is a key thing. Let the INEC separate the so-called National Assembly members during election from the presidential one. So when we are voting for president, we vote for president different. We are not voting for a party and bringing all of them to the table. Let everybody go and face the test of time and whatever. If
because
people
most
want
times when you have
then
good elections at the same time,
Yeah,
the INEC need to do a lot of work. Then also the electorate will need to people need to be informed on how to go about this. These are the powers we have.
We'll just wait and see. But honestly, if you ask me, this actually demands selflessness of the highest order. If it could happen in Senegal, it can actually happen here. Well, thank you very much for watching the program. Gentlemen, thank you very much for coming on the program, and thank you very much for your contributions. Well, that's it on the program. If you want to watch it again, it's simple. All you just need to do is go to our website, tv360nigeria.com. You'll find this video and lots more there. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. The address is youtube.com/TV360Nigeria. And I'll do subscribe to get the latest videos and updates. You can actually join us on Google+. It's at TV360 Nigeria. Or like us on Facebook. The address is facebook.com/TV360 online. You can also follow us on Twitter. The address, Twitter handle, of course, is at TV360 Nigeria. Well, thank you very much for watching once again. We'll see you next week.